Good morning. Good morning. What's going on, you beautiful people? It is 2:57 a.m. I am on my way to the gym right now. I gotta tell you, and it's raining outside. I've had a long couple days, and this morning, as I got down and I prayed last night when I laid down, I was so tired. I didn't even take I didn't even take my clothes off. I just laid there. And I remember my daughter coming up to me and she says, I think she was asking me for an apple. Matter of fact, an apple like this. And all I remember saying before I actually passed out was, "Can you ask your mommy to cut it in half and give it to you?" But I got up this morning and I don't know, I jumped out of bed like I normally did, but I jumped out and I was like, man, I want to go back to sleep. And not because I maybe needed to sleep, but just because it felt like I hadn't had any. Or I had just been going and going and going and going and going. And not going and going like I'm dealing with a bunch of things, but going and going like I'm developing, I'm working on processes and steps and development and going and going and going. It's almost like when you got a calling on your life, you don't feel like taking your time. It's like when somebody says, hey, you can have this, but you have to do this. You got an option at that moment to either take your time and walk to it, or say, boy, I don't want to miss this opportunity, and run. Because sometimes when things are calling on your life, you got to get up and run. You got to get up and go as if your life depended on it, because the fact of the matter is it does. But I woke up and I said, man, I'd like to go back to sleep, but I know if I sit down and give myself that excuse, man, I'm just gonna sit down and close my eyes for a second. No, that's an excuse. You're telling yourself that you're tired, you want to quit, you want to give up. So instead, I just kept going. I said, you know what? I said, I'm just gonna cut a couple little things out that I normally do in the morning. Normally, I make my after workout meal, which is usually some chicken, rice, sweet potato. And I usually make that, and then I usually make a protein shake. And I said, well, I'm gonna cut those things out because I'd much rather get in the car and get where I gotta go. And then maybe if between where I gotta go, the time I get there and the time that the gym opens, maybe I could just close my eyes for a second and go into a sense of gratitude. But not take that break, not close my eyes, not do any of that until I get to my destination. And that's what ends up happening to so many people, is they want to take a break, they want to close their eyes, they want to relax, they want to stop, they want to give up, but they haven't got there yet. So as I get down to pray, more than praying for anything monetary, I prayed that God gave me strength, that He gave me endurance, that He gave me power, that He gave me the ability, that He gave me strength, that He gave me faith, that He gave me the ability to keep going, to keep pressing forward. Because we can ask for monetary things, we can ask for things that come and go. But what about asking for more wisdom? What about asking for more capacity? See, because even as I'm praying, I'm sitting there thinking that my capacity is developing and building with each moment and each day that I stretch myself to the ultimate limit. Same thing with my workout. My workouts, the more that I stretch myself to the ultimate limit, the more that I say I can put more weight on there and I can lift it, the more that I The more that I push myself to do these things, the more the capacity and the ability to do them builds. And it's not an overnight thing. It's not like you just wake up one day and you're like, I can do everything. I can do this, I can do that. I guarantee that if you had not been in the gym in a couple months, let alone a couple years, you're not going to do what I do. But over time, no more than I'm going to do with somebody who has been in there a long time. Over time. So I accept the fact that I'm tired now. But I don't accept it as it's my end. I accept it as it's my beginning. I accept it that it grows me, that it strengthens me, that it gives me the ability, it gives me the power to do more, to be more, the capacity to handle more. You have to be mindful of what it is that you want. You have to be mindful of what it is that you ask for, but you have to be mindful of what it's doing to you. See, I can sit here and tell you right now that the process, though it may be long and arduous, it's very powerful. And the effects are everlasting. So be mindful when you want to give up and you want to quit, that you got to dig in just a little bit more. Find out what you have a little bit more. And then resist the temptation to go to sleep. I remember I would tell Malachi after he had finished working out, I said, I know that once you work out, you feel tired. I said, but that's just a feeling. Your body is getting used to something that it has not done. Resist the temptation to go to sleep and let that tiredness from the gym turn into energy that will give you the ability to run circles around your competition. And now after his workout, he doesn't go to sleep. He does some other things. But the initial reaction is that when you're being stretched and when you're being pushed to your capacity to either give up, to quit, or to put limits on yourself and say, that's it, gotta quit. I can't handle this. But if you hold on, I guarantee you'll operate at a pace that would absolutely blow people's minds. But you got to resist the temptation to give up or want to go and lay down.